Welcome to the Can I Retire Now podcast with your hosts, Nick Russell and Becky Wagoner. I'm your podcast producer, RJ Malik, and right now, here's Nick and Becky.
All right. Hello. Welcome to Can I Retire Now? So today we're going to be talking about how playing poker can make you a better investor, potentially.
This sounds like a great episode already. I'm very interested.
Yes. So all of you know that Nick is a financial advisor, but you may not know that Nick is also an avid poker player and has been the entire time I've known him. So over 10 years.
Yeah, longer than that. I've known you. Yeah.
Nick actually plays in poker tournaments and travels to do so. And he thinks there's a lot of overlapping skills from poker to financial planning that help in both ways, maybe one way, I don't know. But today we're talking specifically how poker skills make you a better financial advisor.
I think that's a good intro. I did, in fairness, steal this idea from a client of mine, John, who we just saw.
Okay.
And I came back from being up north for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It was over Christmas and all my family was busy one day. So I drove down to Atlantic City and played a poker tournament.
Oh, this is years ago, but
this
yes.
is super years ago.
Yeah.
And it was one of those little short one day events. I wound up winning the tournament at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even I just got a hotel for the night, the whole nine anyway. And I get back and I go to their house for New Year's.
Okay.
And they're like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I played in this poker tournament and I won." And it was my client who first turned around and said, it makes perfect sense that you're good at poker because of what you do for a living. There's all this overlap.
Okay.
And he started giving me some of the ideas that I think we're going to talk about today.
So you've held on to this for
and I've
years.
Actually thought about it more.
Okay.
And I've realized that there is a lot of overlap and a lot of skills and traits that you can relate to both. So I took his idea and ran.
There is an argument or a point rather that poker is not gambling. It is a strategy game. So while it is gambling for a lot of reasons as well, but overall,
don't use your retirement planning to go to the casino. All your your 401ks, your IRAs, leave that alone.
This is not the point of this.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So you listed a couple points here. So we're going to go down all of the different aspects that you think come from poker playing that would make you a better investor.
Okay.
So the first one here is mastering psychology.
Yes.
So you're also a psychologist now?
Yeah, I'm a marriage counselor, a therapist, a psychologist. Well, I've said this before. I think if I didn't wind up majoring in finance, I would have probably really enjoyed doing something with psychology.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now in poker, it might seem obvious, right? You're there at the table, you're trying to outwit your opponent.
There's all like bluffing, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? But how does that relate to investing in any way?
Well, I think if we've talked about it in this way before, if you let your emotions get in the way of logical planning and thinking, it usually leads to a bad outcome. And it's the same in cards. Okay. If you're sitting there and you're just frustrated, and maybe because the cards aren't going your way or what, and you just start to push and push and push, it very much is like when clients or investors invest in a stock and they go, "Oh, it keeps going down. Well, I'll just buy more, or I'll buy bigger, or I'll buy
buy something." Good money after bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so keeping a very level, logical head in both environments, I think, allows you at least the opportunity to do your best.
Staying calm, keeping your emotions in check.
Yeah.
Reading the room, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think understanding that it's not always going to go your way. Like you talked about poker, sometimes it's called gambling, sometimes it's called skill game. I obviously believe there's a skill aspect to it. But even if you're a 90% favorite to have the best outcome, 1 in 10 times, it's still not going to go your way.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't go your way, it helps for you to kind of reset and say, okay, well, that's the 1 out of 10 times. So if this strategy is sound, I can keep pushing forward with it and expect a better outcome.
Okay. So a little bit of psychology.
Yeah, a little bit of psychology.
Understand what's happening. And this is something that I know you really geek out about. knowing statistics and probabilities. All right.
Yes.
So I still to this day do not know how to play poker. Nick has tried several times unsuccessfully. My attention span is just not there for
Honestly, you're amazing at so many things.
that.
It's
I
okay.
just can't do the
You
poker.
can't fit one more great thing in there.
Sometimes, when we're flipping around on TV and you catch a poker tournament on, ESPN, the Ocho or whatever, it's on. I don't know. One of the channels, there's always a random poker game. Nick starts talking to me and he's like, well, yeah, there's like a 36% chance that his card's going to come up. And I am flabbergasted every time. Just by watching a card game, the chances of a particular card or scenario happening.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. And
So by insane, you mean you're incredibly attracted to me by the fact that I know that math.
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. I fed you that one.
That's what that meant.
Yes.
So tell me about how knowing statistics and probabilities. I can see this connection a lot more, right?
Yeah.
So tell me how you do it in poker and then how you do it also financial planning.
Okay. So I'll actually give a quick poker lesson for those that most popular form of poker now is Texas Hold'em, which is usually what I'm watching when you see me pop it on the TV. And actually, while we're recording this, the World Series of Poker main event in Vegas is happening. We have some friends playing. I have some friends who are professional poker players and some that are amateurs. The main event. It's the best poker tournament of the year.
Yeah.
So little poker lesson. There are scenarios where, let's say, the first three cards come out in Hold'em flop. And maybe you have, 2 hearts on the board and 2 hearts in your hand, and your goal is to make the best 5-card hand. So a flush would be 5 of the same suit. If you have 4 out at this point, you can always look at your hand and Hold'em and figure out how many outs or how many cards would help make your hand. So in that case, there's 9 hearts in the deck. 4 of them we know exist. There's 2 on the board, 2 in my hand. I'm watching your face. So there's 5. There's 13. I'm sorry, total. So there's 9 left.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's 9 left and there's 2 cards to come, you can multiply that 9 times 4, 36. That's how I know it's 36%. If the heart doesn't come and there's only 1 card left, you multiply all of your outs, in this case still 9, by 2. You have an 18% chance for that card to come. That works for straights, flushes, anything that you're looking for. So if you're,
that's kind of cool.
Okay. But it's not, doesn't mean you're going to win the hand, lose the hand, whatever.
No.
But knowing those statistics, if I said, okay, well, there's $1,000 in the pot and you bet $1,000 and I'm now going, well, I got to catch one of my cards because I'm definitely behind. I know I only have maybe a 1 in 3 chance to get there.
So you make an informed. And
I'm making an informed decision, kind of going back to the first psychology you mentioned, but knowing the statistics. So investing, there are a million statistics. There's PE ratios and alphas and betas and standard deviations and all of that.
Yeah.
If we let's just frankly dumb it down to the most basic aspect of it.
Please.
Yeah. We know a few things to be true just based on the history of the stock market. Things that we've discussed. Things like that the S&P 500 index, the major stock market index, averages a little over 10%.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Every 10 years. So if you take every 10-year cycle and you roll them throughout, it's not always 10, but it averages about 10. Which means also we have about 7 of those 10 years are positive return years. 3 are normally negative. So if we get a negative year in the market, statistically speaking, the next 9, 7 should be up and 2 should be down, right? It should total where 7 are up, 3 are down. It's not always going to work out like that exactly as 70%. But knowing some of the statistics,
some of the stats
could help you make better, well-rounded decisions. We talked about rule of 72 ages ago.
Sure.
The Omar rule, which you coined, and just knowing some of those kind of shortcuts, could just help kind of with step 1 with the psychology, knowing that, okay, if this was something that was really bad.
This is the information I have. This is the information I don't have.
And then what's likely to occur. And if it's likely to occur, you can move forward with a little more faith and knowledge.
Wow. It's really great that your brain holds all those things.
Well, that's about all my brain holds. So, I'm not sure. you don't have room to be great at anything else because you're amazing at everything.
Well,
This is all I got,
that's
babe.
a good save.
So
Oh,
there.
no, that's not true. That's not true. Okay. Um, so that's kind of the number side of it.
Mhm.
The other thing that you wrote down here that is similar is thinking long term and staying disciplined.
Yes.
So I learned after I met you and not got to know about poker, some of these tournaments last a real long time.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not a like, oh, I'm gonna go play poker and you're home in a couple hours situation. No.
Yeah.
So poker lasts a long time, just like saving for retirement.
Yes. Great connection. Yeah, and a lot of times when I go to play poker, I'm playing an event, a tournament.
Hmm.
And yeah, some of these tournaments will play for 12, 13 hours a
A
day.
day.
Yeah, a day for multiple days. The World Series main event,
Yeah.
which I mentioned, has so many people enter, they have multiple day ones.
So
It's
like flights of
flights is what they call them. So they'll have
okay.
like day one A, B, C, D, E. So they have enough physical room to get people in, and then they take winners from day one, people that lasted through
When
day
they're day
ones,
ones.
and they make now I think there's 2 day 2s this year. And then day 3, they finally have a few enough people that they can fit them all in one room. But the main event will last 8, 9, 10 playing days, and they play 12 to 15 hours a day.
Wow.
And it is long, it's grueling.
Grueling. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you think, well, that's how hard could it be? You're just sitting there.
No,
Uh,
I've seen you because they give him like dinner breaks, usually like 30 minutes or an hour
yeah.
after 5 hours of play or something like that, or around dinner time. And you walk out and you're like, I'd love to see you, but I really don't want to talk to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, cool, I'll just
Yeah.
stay
It's,
over here.
you would
But
think sitting on your butt all day
yeah,
wouldn't be physically exhausting, but it is, I guess, mentally, you're so focused and it,
yeah,
it really could take a lot out of you.
hmm,
And that's no different than planning for retirement. If you
yeah,
if you don't stay focused and patient and long-term minded. A
hmm,
tournament, you don't win the poker tournament in the first couple hours. Honestly, you don't win.
yeah.
They always talk about the main event. And they say the goal of day one is just to make it to
Get
day
to day
two.
two.
And like that's not a winner's mentality or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Like you should always be thinking, how do I maximize? But it's so early in the tournament. You can't win a tournament in day
yeah.
one,
You can't,
but you can lose it. You can do something silly and knock yourself
wow,
out.
that's a good point.
And so retirement planning is the same. If we think long term, what do I need to do to get to that end goal? And then you just
Break it
do it,
down.
break it
Yeah,
down in little bite-sized chunks. Exactly what I was going to say. And as long as you have that vision of say, okay, I have to be on this kind of path or
yeah,
this kind of track
yeah.
as time progresses, then you constantly have benchmarks to make sure you're keeping up or
Mm,
you're falling behind,
yeah,
and then you can pivot and make adjustments.
yeah. I think the notes you have here, it's not about quick wins, but building wealth over time and
I,
decades. Yeah.
and I actually think that's probably the biggest point with what I don't know, generationally maybe
Mhm.
we've become as investors. People want to get rich quick, and that is
Oh, the
not
instant
invest, and that is
gratification.
not
Yeah,
investing.
I
That's
can
not
I can see
poker.
that being
Not
a real
anything.
generational thing too. Like,
Yeah.
why isn't it done? I've been doing this for days.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, I've been putting my 401k for the last 3 paychecks. How do I not have $1 million? And that's the same. People will enter tournaments. Like if I ever enter the main event, World
Mhm.
Series of Poker, which I would like to one
It's his
day.
big goal.
That's one
But
of
it's
those
big money. So,
personal goals for me,
yeah.
is to be able to do that and be in a financial position that if I don't cash, if I
Yeah.
don't make any money, it's not detrimental. Um, but there's people who are like, even I would be considered what we call a fun player at that point. I'm not a professional. I'm just some guy who's entering the
And there
tournament.
are professional poker players, which again,
Yeah, tons.
like it's a whole world I didn't know about, but that's
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, but you're there for fun. And so at this point in your poker playing career, it is a hobby.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
for anyone keeping track at home, it's part of our entertainment budget.
yeah. That gets a line. I don't.
And once Nick gets an allotment every year, once it's gone, it's gone. So he is
And in those years where I've done really well, we do something fun with the money.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Or you play more poker.
Yeah.
which is really what happened.
Whatever Becky allows. She says it's okay.
Oh, all right. The next point we have down here is knowing when to pivot.
Yeah.
So tell me more. What happened? When do you pivot in poker?
Yeah.
I guess it's like when to hold them and when to fold them.
Okay. I'll take that.
That's a country song. And
yeah, Kenny Rogers. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
So pivoting, right? I think that's, to me, that becomes when there's a overall shift in the environment. So in a poker tournament, there might be thousands of people playing, but in my singular table, there's usually 9 players, me and 8 others, right? So now let's say as the tournament goes on, people bust out of the tournament and they break tables down. They say, okay, this table of 8, we're going to send each one of you to 8 separate tables to fill open seats, right? So there could be full tables everywhere. Well, I might be at a table where everybody's being super conservative.
Yeah.
And then I go to a table, now everybody is being such an aggressive player, and I have to actually change my way of playing in order to adapt to the environment. And I would argue in investing, that's all of what I call the out of the house stuff. So in the house, so when you never heard me say out of the house stuff? So
no, I'm just thinking of restaurants where we have like front of the house and back of the house. But in finance, it's in the house and out of the house.
So I try to break down things that affect people by what's in their house. So in our house is our income, our expenses, our property taxes and insurance, are things that we control. Out of the house would be tax law, would be estate law changes, would be any other legislature or COVID.
So internal and external forces, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So we can't control those external forces, right? So if there's a new tax law in place, or interest rates move, or inflation has been a really big issue the last few years, we can't impact that. We just have to pivot to work around it. And that's where I think really understanding, even though if you're doing everything, we'll call it right, you're doing everything correctly, you're doing everything the way you know to be the right way to do it, and there's an external factor that then comes into play.
Yeah, you have to be able to change.
You have to be able to take your head out of the sand and look around and go, okay, this isn't the best time for this strategy. I should pivot.
Interesting.
That's how I related those two.
Okay.
Not the Friends episode.
I was just thinking that.
I knew as soon as I wrote the word pivot, you were going to think of them moving the couch and the stairs of Friends, which is...
I held it together. You brought it up. Let the record show.
Yeah, I know. I saw your eye twitching a little. I figured you're definitely thinking about this.
Okay. All right. All right. So the last point we have here is big picture strategy for life. Oh, back to psychology. Okay. Tell me how this relates from poker to investing.
Okay. So in poker, if you're working your way through a tournament, hopefully to get to first go from being in the tournament to making the money, which is
oh yeah, that's a poker term. Yeah, when you're in the money, it means you're ranking high enough now to win a cash payout.
Correct.
Okay, and sometimes, and when you're not quite there yet, but you're on the bubble.
Yeah, look at you.
Okay, I've listened to you. Okay.
Oh my God, she does listen.
Right.
So do you know in an average tournament how many people normally wind up? What percentage of the field finish in the money or make a profit in a tournament?
I don't, but I would like to guess.
I will accept guesses.
26%.
That's an odd. Well, it's an even number, I guess, but no, it is usually 10 to 12%.
Oh.
I've seen it as high as 15. Every tournament's a little different, structure is different, but usually it's 10 to 12%. So let's just say 10 just for easy math. Yeah. That means you have to get through 90% of the field before you even make money. So
and not necessarily make your buyback.
No.
Or your buy-in.
Yeah, normally that lowest prize is enough to get your buy-in plus a little profit.
Oh.
But not always. Every tournament again's a little different. But how I relate this to investing is that you have to think about where you are in these different stages, right? Like, don't see yourself cashing the $1 million check when you're an hour into the tournament.
I thought we were supposed to visualize.
Yeah, well, first of all, the main event, World Series of Poker, first prize. They should know, it should be actually established in the next couple of days, is probably going to be $8 to $10 million.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's on the table. If
Yeah.
I wind up playing, I could just win $10 million.
Would not say no
So
to that.
so great to visualize it, but I can't
But
cash
while
that
you're in the
check.
game,
Yeah.
you need to like visualize ahead of time. Like, but while you're playing, be realistic.
Be realistic. And I think understand that not everything's going to go your way. So in poker, I'm not going to win every hand.
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to lose hands. I'm definitely going to lose hands where all the money goes in and I'm a 90% favorite. 1 out of 10 times, that guy's card's going to come and I'm going to lose, even though I did everything right. So imagine January of 2020, picking 10 stocks that you love that are incredibly profitable companies that seem like no-brainer investments, then COVID hits and those stocks are down 50%. That had nothing to do with you. Now, you need to just like
React,
take outside forces, think about what your long-term plan is, all of these pieces, and realize, okay, do I need to do anything different? Is is this just bad timing? Do I just hold? Do I buy more? Do I pivot?
Fold
Hold
them.
them. Yeah. I mean, you have to assess kind of consistently where you're at, which is why I do annual reviews with clients. I make sure that we're always checking in because you never know. They could have gotten a raise, expenses could have went down.
Yeah.
That's in-house. They could save more money for their goals. Or
Mhm.
maybe there's some external factor that didn't exist last year,
Yeah.
but now does. And in poker, we're usually doing that every blind level, every hour or so. You're just kind of assessing where you're at. If not every hand, believe it or not. You're
Yeah.
looking at how many chips do I have? How many chips do they have? What's the minimum to make a bet? What's the, and all of those factors. And
Yeah.
so I think just doing regular reviews and assessments during the process is important as well.
Awesome.
So not crazy that I said
Not
poker
crazy.
and investing very related. And I'm telling you, I took that comment from my client years ago and I really thought about it.
Hey, you've been brewing on that for
And
a while, it
yeah,
sounds like.
and it really is very relatable to me.
I get it now.
Yeah. So
Cool.
if anybody wants free poker lessons, I do not give them. I'm not that good.
What the heck?
But
Why did you bring it
like
up?
I lobbed that up and then took it away. No, but if anybody ever wants,
Have a fun game of poker.
talk shop or
I'll
something.
play as long as I'm allowed to have the cheat sheet of what
beats what
beats what next to me. Because that's all I got in my brain right now.
Hey, we played with your family.
I remember, and I had to have the cheat sheet. My niece got really good.
Yeah.
It was a Christmas in-house tournament.
Yeah. What else? What's better to do at Christmas than just like play everybody in poker until
that's the truth.
There's one man standing.
All right. So I like it. So it sharpens your skills and keep, over the long run, you got to stay.
Yeah. Long-term focus, keep your head on your shoulders, stay logical, not emotional, know some of the basic statistics to know, are you making the right decisions?
Yeah.
And in poker, a lot of times you get coaching. So
Yeah.
ask for help with
That's a good
investing. I mean,
point,
that's not bad. That wasn't on our list, but when I'm watching those videos, I'm watching to learn and improve.
I can tell you like study those tournaments. It's amazing.
And so I talk to friends who play. Like we have a really good friend who's there now in Vegas playing, and and I'll talk about hands and situations with her to try to get better.
Yeah.
And that's really aligns with investing as well.
That's good. And speaking of discussing your hands, poker has its own language, which is almost like it sounds like foreign language. And when they're as enthusiastic about it, a player as Nick is, sometimes he starts saying these things and I have no idea.
Jargon. Very bad in investing.
Jargon, that's
very
it.
bad in the investing world as well. So
and so when I first met him and I was trying to play it cool, like I knew everything he was saying, he would start talking to me and I got real lost. So I decided to look up the 3 most popular terms that I hear. Well, anyway, in Texas Hold'em, there's 3 things you always say because you're like, oh, I had blah, blah, blah on the flop and this on the river and the tizzy wizzy. I don't even know, but here they are.
We're so close. We were 2 for 3 until the tizzy wizzy.
All right, so the flop. I'm going to tell you where these terms get their names from,
cool.
why they are called these things. Okay,
so the flop in Texas Hold'em is the first 3 community cards that come out on the middle of the board.
And this has a very basic origin. It is the sound that the cards make
Really?
when they are flipped on to the table. It is
Flop.
described as a flopping sound. That's the
Wow.
flop.
Okay.
All
I was
right.
expecting something with a little
Yeah,
more,
I really didn't bring it there
little
on the first one
something.
today.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the
All right.
next card that comes around is called the turn.
Turn. So they put the 3 out. Everybody gets to bet. They put the 4th card out. The
Okay,
turn.
and on the turn, it's thought to get its name from the idea that the game takes a turn at this point, with the
Okay.
stakes often increasing and the hand's outcome being clear.
Okay. I'll take that.
So it's like a turning point.
Yeah.
It's
Like
the
we're
turn.
getting
Yeah.
closer to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last card that comes out in this is called the river.
The river.
I don't know, guys.
It's a logical progression, right? Flop, turn, river. How does this not
Yeah,
make
how do
sense?
these not go together? And it has a less certain origin, but most people think it has basis in the card playing boats on the Mississippi River.
Okay.
When a player's fate is sealed. So the final river card, you're sealed, you're on your way, basically. Another theory is that the term comes from the French verb river, spelled the same exact way,
Oh,
meaning
okay.
to fix or attach, referencing the finality of the card.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know any of this.
Well, that's why I'm here, babe.
Wow. I feel so much better educated now.
There is also a line on here that I couldn't validate, but it was like, sometimes people would take an extra card after the river to make their hand better, and if they were caught, they would be thrown overboard into the Mississippi River.
Oh.
Yeah. So pick your meaning, but
Wow.
I like the French verb.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I would take
That's the best
that.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and that works really well for Hold'em, works really well for Omaha, which I've played a little bit of.
Mhm.
When you play things like Stud and some of those like
Yeah, I play it all the time.
yeah, kind of those older school games. They're making a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get 5, 7 cards, and you don't share cards. There's
See how
a lot of different
excited
games.
he gets
I
right
know.
now?
We
He's like
could
ready to
This
talk
could
about
be like a
poker.
3-hour episode where I just talk about poker, but I don't think that's allowed.
It's
I'm not.
not.
Becky
No.
said I'm not allowed.
Yeah. So those are your fun facts where flop, turn, and river.
Can I give you a fun fact?
Let's find out.
You made me think of it when you said like cheating or something, you throw them in the river. So do you know there's a hand, a starting hand, a starting 2 cards in Hold'em called Dead Man's Hand?
No, but tell me more.
And there's apparently some origin. I wish I looked this up before we started talking, but it happened like during the Wild West because Texas Hold'em's been around for ages,
Okay.
poker in general. And apparently, so it's aces and eights. So normally you're holding ace eight.
Any aces and eights?
Yeah, you're holding an ace and an 8,
Okay.
and then an ace and an 8 comes on the board. So it's 2 aces and 2 8s. But apparently, I forgot who it was, but someone.
Is that like fingers and thumbs?
It's like every finger's a thumb.
Aces and eights? Sorry, go
I don't know if that works that way.
I don't think it does. But
All I know is that apparently the guy was caught cheating. He had like some mechanism. He was pulling aces out of his sleeves or something, and he got caught and he was shot at the table. And so, but his hand that played as aces and 8s. So it's been known since like the 1800s as Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, you get those hands and
Yeah. And then bam. Well, you don't cheat apparently in the Wild West.
And on that note,
it's been great talking to everybody today. So yeah, but I think you summarized it really well. I think I joke we use poker because it's very relatable to me, but honestly, any strategy game, you want to play Risk, you want to play chess, there's a reason why a lot of really good money managers and investors are in the same kind of vein of mental interest as people that play chess, play poker, do all of that, backgammon, any of these like really heavy skill games, because it is a lot of those same traits that you need to have. So
I can see that.
In both your poker and investing, keep a level head, be long-term invested, be long-term minded, be non-emotional, think about the big picture, pivot.
Get coaching when you need it.
Get coaching and help when you need it.
Great.
That's the moral of this poker story.
All right.
So yeah. So with that, if you have any questions, need any help, you can find us on all the social medias. You can also find us on the website, sunrisewealthadvisors.com. We have a little box on there. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. And if anything coming on our horizon here? Anything we're sharing? No. Good. Nice, clean, and easy. We'll get out of here. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Nick and Becky, and we're looking forward to your next podcast. And thank you for listening to today's Can I Retire Now podcast. Until next time, for Nick and Becky, I'm RJ Malik.